Now in our previous lectures, we have learned about print function, input function, length function, and variables. And we did some string manipulations in our previous lectures. Now based on what we have learned in our previous lectures, we will create a project which is called band name generator. Now when we finish our project, the final project will look like this. Now here when we run our project, the first thing that's going to do, it will greet us. So it will say that welcome to band name generator. Then the next thing that it's going to do, it will ask what's the name of the city that you grew up in. So in this case, if I put, for example, the name of city London and hit enter, then the next thing that it's going to do, it will ask our pet's name. So what's your pet's name? So if I put pet's name, for example, Angel, then if I hit enter, it will generate a band name like your band name could be London Angel. So here there are a couple of things to note. Firstly, when the first input gets triggered, the cursor actually shows up on a new line. So when we run our code, you see that instead of appearing cursor over here, it's appearing in new line. So we need to take into account that in our project, it should be like this. So we need to take into account that when we are creating our project, the cursor should stay in the new line. Now what I want you to do is to try come up with your own code to this project. So here, to make things very easier, I have commented all steps that you need to create a band generator by yourself. So you need to take into account that all of things that we are using in this project are coming from the previous lectures that we explained in our lectures. So this project is based on till lecture 6. So here we are implementing all things that we have learned from lecture 1 to lecture 5. Now here, based on these comments, you can create your own program. So here I want you to pause the video and think if you can come up with your own answer to create band name generator. Alright guys, I hope you gave that a go and you were able to complete it. If you want to see how I implemented it, or if you want to just check to see if you have any errors or if there are something that you are unsure about, then continue watching the video and I'll go through the solutions video. Now here, as the hint says, the first step is greeting for your program. Now in our case, it says welcome to our band generator. So this is exactly what I'm going to create over here. So the first thing that I'm going to use, we will use print statement. So as you remember, we have learned print statement in our first lecture. So here I'm going to print saying that welcome to our band generator. So welcome to the band name generator. Now if I run our code, you will see that it's printing out this greeting message over here. Now the next step is it says that ask the user for the city that they grew up in. Now here you know that to get information from the console from a user, we need to use input function. So I'm going to put over here input. Then you know that inside input function we have to put prompt. So to ask anything from a user, we need to put prompt over here. So inside input function, I'm going to ask a question to the user. So which city did you grow up in? Now if I run our code in this case, you will see that it says welcome to our band name generator. Then which city did you grow up in? Now if I put over here, for example, London and hit enter, now this information gets lost because we haven't passed this information over here. We haven't saved it in our code. So to save it, as you remember, we have learned variables. So in case of variables, we can create new variable over here to save our city for future use. So here, instead of just putting over here, I will create a new variable called city. So set this information to this city variable over here. Now if I run our code one more time and put London over here and hit enter, in this case this city variable holds the information that comes from the console. Now the next step is here also we are asking the ask user for the name of pet. So we are going to use the same logic over here. So it's going to be input function with the name of pet. So here the variable will be pet and the question will be what's your pet's name? What is your pet's name? Now after getting this information from the user, we are saving it to the pet variable. Now if I run our code one more time over here, you will see that the first question it asks us is in which city you grow up. So I'll put London. Then if I hit enter, it asks that what's your pet's name. So in this case I'll put Angel. Now if I hit enter, you see that nothing happens because we haven't finished our steps over here. Now in the last step it says that combine the name of your cities and pet and show them their band name. Now in this case what I'm going to do, I'm going to use print function. Then inside print function, I will use these two variables. Now to combine two variables together, you know that we have learned in our previous lecture that we can use concatenation. Now in Python, to concatenate two string variables, we are using plus sign. Now here I'm going to print out the information. It's going to be like this. Your band name could be, then we will use plus sign city name and plus pet name. Now if I put like this and run our code, you'll see that something is strange over here. So I put London, then pet name Angel, and hit enter. You see that these two variables are concatenated together without any space. So to put a space over here, I will put space over here as well. So I need to concatenate city with the space, then space with the pet. So here I will put space like this. Now in this case, if I run our program one more time and put the variables, you see that it produces the band name as London Angel with space between them. Now here, the last step says that make sure that input cursor shows on a new line. Now if you remember in the beginning of the lecture, I have said that cursor should be in the new line. So if you run our code now, you will see that the cursor remains in the same line. So we need to put it in the new line. So as you remember, when we are doing a string manipulation, we said that whenever we need a new line character, we will use backslash with n. So in this case, if I put over here backslash with n, and here also, because here also we are asking the information from the console. So this means that here also is going to be cursor. So if I stop our program and run it again, you will see that in this case, the cursor is in the new line. So here, if I put the name of city and hit enter, it's going to ask the pet's name. So the pet name is Angel. So if I put enter, it's going to be London Angel. So as you see, in this case, our code is more readable. So it's more understandable like this. Now with this, we have come to the end of this lecture. So here we have implemented the concepts that we have learned in our previous 5 lectures. So hopefully you have understood everything, and with this practice exercise, you had got the deep knowledge, the concepts that we have explained till now. So see you in the next lecture.